Hi friends, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. And if you're watching this on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Audible, wherever you get your podcasts, welcome back. This is gonna be like a little crossover moment between my YouTube channel and podcast platform because I wanted to do a video like this on both. So welcome. It is going to go up on both platforms. So you'll get the podcast and you'll get the YouTube video. I pulled 25 books from my shelves that I have not read yet and would like to prioritize in 2025. There are some series in here and I counted those as individual books because I need to finish them. So they're counting as individual books, not just a series, because I need to prioritize the series that I am stuck in the middle of. So going in no particular order, oh my goodness, I just realized how many of these are Berkley. Actually, a lot of these are Bloom. More than half? No. You'll see the pile eventually, but a lot of these are Bloom books and a lot of these are Berkley. Some of them I have received as advanced copies, finished product before they launched copies. So thank you so much to Berkley and Bloom. And yeah, let's just jump right into it, get started. 25 books that I am prioritizing this year in 2025. And I swore I wouldn't do one of these videos because it just makes a mess with all these books. But I did it anyway, because I had a little bit of FOMO watching everybody else do it. Let's be real here. Going in no particular order, just gonna grab from the pile the first book. Again, and I'm not reading these in this order, but this is the first book I just grabbed, is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This has been recommended to me so many times. I kid you not, so many times. And it just looked really good. It's a trilogy, so it's not like 12 books long. I said, okay, it's 3 books. I can commit to 3 books. Still haven't read the first one yet, but I am working on it. This is my goal this year, is to read this series top to bottom. The first one is just a priority. It's gonna go on the list because that's the first one I own. I'm getting better. Guys, I'm getting better at not buying the whole series before reading the first book because I have done that. And I've been stung a couple times by doing that. The next book in my reach is Out on a Limb. How have I not read this book yet? That's the question of the year. How have I not read this book yet? And then the companion novels that go with it. As I see, this is not the first book. So Next of Kin is the first book, and I actually have a Next of Kin. So I just thought this was the first one. I have to pull that one too. So this is like deprioritized slightly, but Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. These books just look so good. Like, look at the cover. Look how cute that is. And if you're just listening, go Google the cover when you're not driving or not, you know, when you have time to Google it. It's just so cute. And I follow the artist on Instagram, so I recognize this as her work. And I don't know, it's just so cute. And it's a short too, like 350 pages or so. Like 357 pages. So should be quick, should be cute, should be fun, should be a great time. I am very excited for this one. Next in the pile is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. This is another one, dystopian, been recommended to me 800 bajillion times, and I have not read it yet. This one is also a series. I know there's several books in it. I don't know how many though. So I just need to jump in and read this. It's probably over 400 pages, but that's okay. The size of a book does not influence whether I read it or not. So let's see. It doesn't have this listed in the front where you see like all the other books, probably because this is one of the original publications, I guess. Maybe it's one of the first editions, I don't know. But it doesn't show the other books in there. But this is dystopian. This is the world's ended and now they have to figure out what to do next. There's no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Now, scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. So I am very intrigued by this. I think it's going to be great. I just have to actually like pick it up and read it. Next in the pile is another series that you're all probably going to be like, wow, you haven't read that yet? No, okay, I haven't. I've read over 250 books since starting my Bookstagram, and no, I have not read this one yet. And it is Flawless by Elsie Silver. This book has been on my shelf for, I kid you not, since probably I started my Bookstagram. This was one of the first books I picked up in either 2022 or 2023, and haven't read it yet. Have every single book in a series though. I know I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy it, which is why I ended up buying all of the books. Have not read it yet, and I have FOMO over it. I really do. And I know she has another series that's like republishing, so I want to catch up in this world because I feel like it would just be great and amazing. The next book in my reach is Real by Kennedy Ryan. I picked this up in a weekly vlog within the last like 2 months, I want to say, and the cover is just stunning. It's from Target. As you can see, they still have the sticker on it. But I do want to get into Kennedy Ryan's novels. I have not read a single book by her yet, and I have so many of her books, whether it was gifted from publishers or I just happened to pick them up in my travels, and I just want to read her books. So I think I'm going to start with Real. And I know she's got like a basketball series that I have, and I like to read sports romances during the season that they take place in. So if I want to read the basketball series, I have to like get on that ASAP. So picking a safe one that I can read at any time of year, and then I will pick up the basketball ones either this basketball season, although it's like halfway done already, or next basketball season. But either way, Kennedy Ryan books are on my immediate TBR. Another author that I've had books either gifted to me or I've picked up on my own, haven't read a single one of hers yet, and I'm probably like the last person on the planet to not read one, is Sophie Lark. And I just pulled the first book in this series. This is the Brutal Prince series. And I have like, I think this whole series, Grimstone, Monarch, Kingmakers, Minx. I know some of these are like dark romance, spice. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about these, but I will still give it a shot. Anastasia is also on my TBR, but I don't own the physical copy of Anastasia. It is on Kindle Unlimited, so I downloaded it on my Kindle. I just have to read it, but I do want to read this series. Some of these books looked really, really good, so I figured let me pick them up and give them a shot. Next is a series that I need to finish. One of the books that I haven't read yet is on my like little TBR shelf, but it is the oh my goodness, I just forgot the name of it. Addicted to You series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. So the next 3 books on my 25 book list are from that series. So I have Addicted After All on my immediate TBR shelf. Then would be Fuel the Fire. Then would be, I think it's Long Way Down and then Some Kind of Perfect, but it could be Some Kind of Perfect first and then Long Way Down is the last book. I think this is the last book. I'm not sure. It could be flipped, but I want to finish this series. I've been reading this series, guys. I've been reading it for like so long that I feel like I also need to do a reread. I love this universe. It's so much more. There's found family, there's the drama that happens. If you like millionaire, billionaire, like rich society drama, romance, like this series is so good. So good. And I will scream from the mountaintops. It's amazing. I have all the new covers because this is another series that also republished. So, oh my goodness, it's just so good. I can't recommend this series enough. And honestly, I'm probably going to do a reread once I finish more of the books that are on my TBR, because there's so many books that I have on my physical TBR that I just feel guilty. And I know this isn't the right mindset to have. I just feel guilty doing a reread when I have so many books that aren't read. But I know like I shouldn't feel like that. So I want to reread this. I also do want to reread Magnolia Parks. I've been missing that universe and I think about them like all of the time. That universe is everything to me. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Next book in my grasp is another follow-up to a series. This is Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. I read Love, I think it's Redesigned. I can't see it from here, but I think it is Love Redesigned. I read that one, absolutely loved it, ate it up, like read it on my Kindle and highlighted the almost whole book. Like there were so many good quotes and like things that characters said, and I loved it. But for some reason I just haven't picked up the next one. So I need to do this year. And I think I might have to look up a summary for the first one because I don't really remember much of the first one, but I'm sure if I just like read a couple of chapters, it will come back to me. Next, a new to me author, but not new to the rest of the world, is Candy Steiner, and this is a love letter to whiskey. And people have said this one is like amazing and 5 stars and great and all of the things. I just haven't read it yet. So I need to pick this one up and actually read it because it's been sitting on my shelf for so long. And apparently there's a whole bunch of other stories in here. So it says this collection includes a foreword from the author, a love letter to whiskey, love whiskey, bonus content, and a special edition cover. And she has another series too that I think is football romance. I'm not sure if it's other like sports, but I know there's a football one because it's called Quarterback Sneak. So I have to read those, but I want to read this one first, which is why I picked it. Next, changing up the genre a little bit, changing up the genre like majorly, you guys, is The Woman by Kristen Hanna. This is a historical fiction and I started it. I didn't finish it. I didn't necessarily DNF it because I only got like maybe 6 to 10% in, but I just think it was the wrong time. You know, like those of you that are mood readers, hear me out here. You start a book and you're just like, this isn't it. This isn't hitting. That was this book when I had started it. I really feel that I have to be in the mood to really sit down and read historical fiction because most of the time my book like taste is like rom-coms or contemporary fiction or maybe a thriller here and there, but I'm never really in the mood to read historical fiction. But when I do read it, I love it. Some of my historical fiction picks have been like my top books of the year. So I do really love historical fiction. This one, I just feel like it's very serious, very quick. And in the time frame that it takes place in, you get that like majorly. So I think I just need to restart this and give it the time of day that it deserves. And I think Julia Whelan is the narrator on it. So I will probably end up listening to this and getting the audiobook from the library. Next series, actually we have 1, 2, 3. A lot of these are series actually. Let's do standalones first and then we'll jump back into series because I feel like I said earlier, a lot of these books are series and a lot of these books I just need to wrap up the series and be done. So let's do some standalones. The first one I'm going to pick up is Lightlark by Alex Astor. I've seen this book all over the place and I've seen good things, good reviews about it. So I want to read it. And this is the same author that wrote Nightbane. I've seen that cover all over. And I think this one is like circus themed. No. It says every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears for only 100 days to host a deadly game. That's what it was. Not circus, but games. Where the rulers of the 6 realms fight to break their curses, and when unparalleled power, each ruler has something to hide. Each curse is uniquely wicked. To break them and save themselves in their realms, one ruler must die. So, I thought it sounded really interesting, which is why I picked up the first one. If I enjoy it, I'll pick up the next, I think, 2. I think this is a box set. I've seen it, at least in a box. So it could be a duology, could be a trilogy. I'm not too sure. Some more standalones. These are from my auto-buy author. She became an auto-buy author to me last year, and it is Jennifer Hartman. So I still have to read Catch the Sun and The Wrong Heart by her. And then I think I'm caught up as far as physical published books go. I think there's still some like indie, Kindle Unlimited, like original works that she's written that I haven't read, but I've read so many other books by her, loved every single one of them. Like June 1st, Still Beating. There's a cover that looks like this too, but it's, I don't remember the title of it. Lotus is another one. I think that's the cover I was thinking of. So then I have these 2 also that I still need to read. Very excited for both of these, and she can do no wrong. Jennifer Hartman can absolutely do no wrong in my mind. So all of her books are just amazing. And I love that they're bigger than your traditional paperback. I don't know. I just think like a big floppy paperback is really good. And if you're just listening and you're not watching this, I'm holding up Love Unwritten next to some Jennifer Hartman books. And there's probably about an inch difference in height between them. So I don't know, I just love a big paperback. So definitely excited to read these. I don't know what they're about. I go into most of my books completely blind. I don't look up Goodreads reviews. I don't look up any sort of posts about the books. I just go in completely blind and hope for the best. There's sometimes in a YouTube video, like if I almost said if an author, if a YouTuber or a creator is talking about the book, I'll go based off of that, but that's kind of rare. I try to go in with my own fresh perspective and point of view. Next book that I'm grabbing is a Mariana Zapata book, and it is All Roads Lead Here. I love Mariana Zapata's writing. If you have been watching my YouTube channel for a while, you can go back and watch my when Gracie Met the Grump reading vlog, and that one tested my patience majorly. But The Wall of Winnipeg and Me was one of my top books of 2024. So I'm really excited to read All Roads Lead Here. And I like these new covers. I think they're so fun because I almost bought the indie one, but I liked the new ones and I thought they were cute. So excited to read this. A little nervous to see where it goes because she is the queen of a slow burn and going on and on and on. And the action happens at like the end of the book and not throughout the book. So definitely excited to see where this goes. Next on my list, I think, is that a series? I think we're just gonna jump. Oh no, wait, I have one more standalone. So the next, at least I think this is a standalone for now. The next book is Never by Jessa Hastings. And this book has been on and off my TBR, I kid you not, for 6 months. 6 months, people. So I want to read this and check it off and be all caught up in the Jessa Hastings world. This is not related to Magnolia Parks in any sort of capacity. It's just another book that she has out that I haven't read yet. This is a Peter Pan retelling, so I think it'll be good. I'm excited to read it. So I know she's coming out with a new book at some point this year. I'm not sure when, but I would like to have this read before that to be all caught up with the backlist. Next book is actually the end of a duology. Oh, can we call it a duology? I mean, they're interconnected standalones. So this is The X-Vows by Jessica Joyce. She is the author of You with a View, and I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was great. So I'm excited to read the next one. And these are quick reads for me too. This is like 360 pages, 366 without looking at any of the text in the back. So I'm excited to read all of these books. I keep saying that, but this one's gonna be good for like spring, I feel. Spring or fall, because I think it's at a vineyard on a farm somewhere. I like to think that from the cover I can guess what the whole book's gonna be about. Usually doesn't work like that. Next book that I don't know if this is a series or not. I think yes, it is a series. So let's pull this one instead because I don't know whether this is a series or not. And oh, it says book 1. It is going to be a series. Okay, so the rest of these books that I have here are either the start of a series or the start of a series. Yes, all of these are starts. Okay, so the next one is The Striker by Anna Huang. I want to desperately read another Anna Huang book. Her other series, oh my goodness, why am I drawing a blank right now? What is the name of the series? It's not The King of Sloth. Oh my goodness. I read it 2 Februaries ago and it was the first series I think ever or in a very long time that I binged like the whole series, and that was my TBR for the month. Oh my gosh. It's gonna bother me now. It's got the rich kids in it. They're all like a friend group. Oh my gosh, now I can't remember. Anyway, but I read that series and I read it straight through. So I'm hoping that another series by her, I'll also be able to read straight through. This is the first book. It's the only book that's out so far, and it's a sports romance. So I'm excited to read it. This one's soccer. It looks like a soccer player and a ballerina from the cover. So curious to see what the rest of these books are gonna look like. The next one to kick off another series is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This one I think is gonna be 2 or 3 books long. It's really thick. Really, really thick, but I'm not surprised for a fantasy. I think this is on Kindle Unlimited too, if I'm not mistaken. But it looks good, and I saw a lot of great reviews about it, so I am quite excited to read this one. In the theme of fantasy, we got 2 more here. So this one is Throne of the Fallen by Kerri Maniscalco. And I saw some great things about this book. I'm excited to read it. I've had it on my shelf for so long. I almost bought the second one, but I said no. I haven't even read the first one yet. So I gotta read this one before I can read another one. And then another series I want to start is The Glint. I think this is the first book. Or is Gild the first book? I may have had them out of order on my shelf. Because now that I look at this, this is not the first book. Gild is the first book. This is the second book. And I've seen some really great things about this series. They kind of compare it to ACOTAR. I don't know if that's like a good comparison or not, but I have the first 2 books. So I am excited to read these. I've been looking for something that's kind of giving like ACOTAR vibes, but not ACOTAR. I'm currently reading Onyx Storm, which we talked about in the last episode that I'm only like 35% in. I haven't made much progress because I've had a very busy week. So next podcast episode and in the reading vlogs, you guys will see more updates. I was originally going to do a reading vlog for Onyx Storm, but it's just been so busy, and I've been reading Onyx Storm like in the car and just like whenever I get little pockets of free time. And I haven't been able to vlog it, so I think I'm scratching that idea for a reading vlog. But if you want to chat, my DMs are always open. Let's just ask where we are first before we openly start chatting about the book. Because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, and I don't want anybody spoiling it for me. So, all right. We got 3 more books here, people. 3 more books. The next book, or the next 2 books, is a spin-off to a series that I read in 2022. Big question mark on it. I think it was 2022, and I absolutely loved it because I don't think it was, could it have been 2023? It might have actually even been 2023. Anyway, but that is the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. This is their kids. This is the afterwards of that series. And this is The Graham Effect and The Dixon Rules. If you've read the Off-Campus series, you'll recognize the name or the names of both of those titles from people in those books. So I'm excited to read these 2 and just to be back in that universe because I haven't been back in so long. And so long. Now the last book, and certainly not least, is Chloe Walsh, Binding 13. I have not picked up this series yet, and I think I'm, again, one of the last people on the face of the planet to have not picked up this series. This follows, I think it's a group of kids, the Boys of Tommen. I think I've seen that name all over the place. This is, I think, a 6-book series, and I am just very excited to read it. I've had these books sitting on my shelf for over a year, and I just love a floppy paperback. The flop is real, people. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I've had these books for at least a year. Need to read them, need to know what's going on. This, I think I'm going to make a whole reading vlog for because so many people have read this series, and I feel like I'm one of the only people that hasn't, so. That is book number 25. There's so many other books that I would love to talk about, and they're gonna be on my TBR at points this year, but 25 books to pull is plenty. There's so many, feel like I'm drowning in books here. So that is going to be it for this video and for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed the crossover because more of these are gonna be happening as I do more sit-down YouTube videos. They're gonna convert to podcasts, so it's gonna be fun. And if you did not know, I just started a podcast. It is called The Caffeinated Commentary Podcast. I'll link the Instagram below. It is at The Caffeinated Commentary Pod. So it's not podcast, it's just pod. You can find the Instagram there. There I will be posting new episodes, question boxes eventually, episode updates, fun pictures, all of that fun stuff. And there you'll see when the new videos and new episodes are released. And yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow the podcast wherever you're watching it. Leave a rate and review. I think those are the things to do over there. Over here, it's like, comment, and subscribe. And then turn on post notifications. And then when you follow the podcast, you'll also get notifications for when new episodes go live. I think that's it. I think that's all the housekeeping rules. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.